welcome back to the Football Terrace Champions League second leg. The knockouts are here. The proper knockouts are here now. What a 24 hours football has in store for us all. It's going to be epic. It's going to be amazing. I wonder what that was. It was a towel. I thought if I had a t-shirt on there, that'd be, I think it changed in here. But it's going to be epic. It's going to be absolutely amazing. We have got a big night, a big evening of previews for you. Looking ahead, of course, to Chelsea versus Real Madrid, touching on Paris Saint-Germain versus Manchester City as well. Big Kylian Mbappe news. He is out of the starting 11 and on the bench tonight. Sir Alex Ferguson, he has been at the Manchester, he's in Manchester. He's been at the Lowry Hotel. He's been visiting the Paris Saint-Germain team. A little bit of mind games there. It really is Poch versus Pep tonight. We're going to be giving you a big build up to that. As I mentioned, talking Chelsea, their huge game tomorrow night against Real Madrid. And in the backdrop of that game today, it has been revealed that Thomas Tuchel has been offered a contract extension at Chelsea Football Club for all the hard work and the quality shown from him in his very young Chelsea career, may I add. Already been offered a new deal. Tuchel wants it. The announcement's very close. It's a really big few days for Chelsea. It truly is. Eden Hazard is coming home. Ramos returns. The pace merchant, Raphael Varane, is out. And we've got a brilliant panel for you tonight. They'll be here in about 10 minutes' time. We've got Jan on the show. We've got Jem. We've got David. We've got Daniel. We have got Anita back with us tonight, which is going to be amazing. So really looking forward to this. A few people saying already, yes, Chelsea have offered Thomas Tuchel a contract extension already. He's very close to accepting the contract. It's almost done. It is almost over the line. But before the panel get here, let's get this past 500 likes while we're live on the air. Let's share this stream on all your social media platforms. And let's take a bit of a look. These are just some of the things we're going to be talking about today on the show. We're going to be giving you a flavor for what they're here to speak about. Of course, we're going to touch on the starting lineups that both Daniel and Anita have put forward. But there's so many stories out there that we want to touch on as well. There is, of course, Rafa Varane doubtful, perceived to be out of the game tomorrow night. What kind of impact is that going to have on Real Madrid? Of course, there is the return of Eden Hazard. Can he rewrite his legacy by firing Real Madrid into a Champions League final? After all that's gone wrong for him at Real Madrid, could he do that? Could he be the guy? As we mentioned, Kylian Mbappe is struggling. He's set to start on the bench tonight. One question I do have, is that responsible to play him at all? I was under the impression that playing players when they have injuries was gross negligence from a manager. Looks like Poch might be doing that at some point tonight with man like Kylian Mbappe. And in a little bit of a side note, another story, this rumor keeps picking up pace, and it's relevant because both teams are in action in the next couple of days. Real Madrid are linked with a big money move, a £90 million move for Manchester City star Raheem Sterling. This is kind of connected to the big story that's surrounding that Manchester City may go in for Jack Grealish this summer. Could it be man like Raheem Sterling who leaves at the other end? We're going to be going through all these stories tonight with Jan, Anita, David, Jem, and Daniel. I've got all the names. I actually got all the names right there in a row. That is, for me, that's really good memory. It's going to be an amazing show. But I want your views and your opinions first before we bring them on at 5:30. Daniel here says, no one wants Chelsea to win the Champions League. That's what we want. Of course. If Man United were in a semi-final tonight, and all the other English clubs wanted us to win, I would be sad. I would be genuinely sad. I'd cry. In fact, I'd cry. Football would be dead. Football would be dead. Football would be done. Football would be finished. It would be over. Man like to hear with a super chat says, Mourinho is the new Roma. Yeah, he is. Do you know what? Spurs have been rejected by everybody they've approached. Everybody. And they've gone for them all. It's very soon they're going to be Sunday League level. But in the space of 13 days, Jose Mourinho has landed a big job at TalkSport, a big job at Roma. And I want to ask you, are Roma a bigger club than Spurs? Are Roma a bigger club than Spurs? Maybe. But Spurs still can't find them out. There are reports that Spurs might end up having to give the job to Ryan Mason permanently. Permanent. Can you imagine? I'm sorry to laugh at Tottenham. Dad, are you watching? Dad, that's your team. I want to thank you, though, my father, my loving father, for not making me support that club, for giving me in every walk of life the freedom to choose my career, my religion, or atheism in my case. But more importantly than those two things, my football club choice. Thank you, my father. Honestly, imagine that, having 5 sons that all love football and not making them support Spurs. I think my dad deserves the Nobel Peace Prize for that. I think Jeffrey Michael Fleurs, I'm not going to give you date of birth out because there's too much information in his address, deserves the Nobel Peace Prize. He saved the lives of 5 men. He stopped us from killing our football dreams by allowing us to pick our own clubs. And do you want to know the irony? 2 of my brothers pick Leyton Orient, and they're happier than Spurs fans. And they support Leyton Orient. My word. Well done, Dad. What a hero, Dad. Hero. He was like, I can't put my kids through what I've been through. You know, they always say that parents always aspire to give their kids a better life than they had. My dad had us all, not himself. My mother was involved. She was involved a little bit. Do you know what I mean? Like, she did her job. But my dad had us, laid us, I don't know if he did this, but like, I can make, he laid us all down and was like, right, kids, I've got an important message for you. I don't want you to suffer like I've had to suffer. I don't want you to go through the trials and tribulation and heartache that I went through. So I'm giving you your own clubs. One of my brothers is an Arsenal fan. Arsenal. My dad is a hero. Honestly. Justice for Jeff. Spurs got rejected by everyone. We've gone off track, though. We've gone off track here. We'll be back soon. Jem and Jan are backstage. We're bringing everybody on very, very slowly. But lots of big news. Chelsea fans, I want your reaction to this, though. Thomas Tuchel extending his contract. That's the big news that's circulating as it stands right now. I think it's the right move. Thomas Tuchel is one of the best managers in the world, and he's proving it. I think he's going to end this season impeccably well with Chelsea. They're picking up a trophy, if not 2. They're making that top 4. And what a turnaround from where they were when he came in. And he also broke a record at the weekend, which wasn't really spoken about. He broke Jose Mourinho's Premier League record of getting... Jose had 10 clean sheets in his first 15 games. Thomas Tuchel has 11 clean sheets in his first 15 games. That's how good he has been. And imagine him with an actual preseason and an actual summer. It will be gargantuan. It is going to be gargantuan. Charlie here says, love Tuchel. Every word that comes out of his mouth is poetry. Daniel says, we want a long-term manager. Always have. And of course, he signed that 18-month deal, but I think I'm reading between the lines here, but it is obvious that he has blown the socks off the squad. He has impressed the board and the owner beyond belief. And that's why Chelsea find themselves in such a brilliant position. And of course, they're going to this massive, massive game tomorrow. I can't wait to speak to the Chelsea fans about this as well. City fans tuning in. I'll tell you what I'm intrigued about when it comes to yourselves tonight. No Kylian Mbappe. 2-1 up, 2 away goals. City can't flop tonight. I know Jan's nervous because I saw a tweet earlier. I can't wait to speak to Jan when we bring him on. But City, maybe that makes City... Let me ask this question, City fans. Does it make you more nervous that you've got the advantage, you've got the away goals, and that Mbappe is out? Because the excuses are dissipating. There is no reason for you not to... You've got the better manager. the better squad, the better overall players? Or is it just getting squeaky bum time? Speaking of squeaky bum time, man like Fergie turning up. Man like Fergie turning up. Is that a little bit of mind games there? It might not be. It might just be Fergie wanting to say hello to a few people. But, you know, the media are going to twist it in that way, no doubt whatsoever. Mo says, Terry, we might not get a striker. Lukaku is staying and Haaland as well. Might mean we go for Sancho. Chelsea could go for Sancho. This isn't one of our talking points tonight, but it's worth bringing up with you all now before the preview really kicks in. What's interesting about Sancho, what does that say about Callum Hudson-Odoi? Where and when is Callum Hudson-Odoi going to play if Sancho comes in? Or are Chelsea fans admitting, like yourself, not all, but you, Mo? And by the way, why have you got a picture of a Real Madrid player as your emoji? You're a Chelsea fan. I know, but I can tell by the roundness of the stomach that that's Eden Hazard. But, right, you can see that. I've got the dad bod at the minute. I'm going just mad. Lockdown's killed me. I've been back in the gym for 2 or 3 weeks. I'm finished. I'm really finished. I'm halfway through it and I'm like, is it really worth it? Should I just embrace the dad bob? Dad bod? Dad bod. Maybe. But that's what he's got. I can see the dad bod. Why have you got a Real Madrid today of all days? Why are you repping Eden Hazard today, bruv? Today. There we go. I'm not going to sing it out loud, but thanks for singing me a song. I appreciate that. I do appreciate that. Thank you. Let's have a conversation here. Terry, relax. I'm only joking. Calm down. Slow yourself down. I'm impressed by Tuchel, but respect the GOAT Pep. Even Valencia manager lost consecutive finals. Champions League is not Tuchel's to lose. I don't really get it. Maybe it's my brain. I don't get what you're impressed to respect. Listen, no one has said that Tuchel's winning the Champions League. I think he could win the Champions League. I think he will win the FA Cup. Maybe you're referring back to my comments from there. We're just waiting for Anita backstage, and then we're bringing the panel in to start the preview show. Get that like and that share button hit. See a few more of these comments here. Matt, Super Chat here says, Callum Hudson-Odoi needs to go to a team where he gets game time. It won't be at Chelsea. Well, certainly if Sancho signs. Sancho, everywhere Sancho's going is to be a first-team player. Best young creative football player on earth. And the fact that there is currently no evidence of life form anywhere else in this universe, Jadon Sancho, the best creative young footballer in the universe. There, I've said it. If you're the best in Europe, you're the best in the universe, really. But we'll big it up a bit more. Do you know what I mean? Right, panel's ready backstage. I'm excited about this. Terry, have you ever had abs? I thought you were talking about a girl I know, but yes, I have. On both counts. Sorry, but it's true. Yeah, I used to. Of course, I did. I still have beneath the layer, like beneath my winter coat. Do you know what I mean? It's there. Like the stomach's still pretty firm. You can come have a feel of it if you want, mate. But yeah, it's all good. Just got to eat better. That's all it comes down to. It's my diet. Because I'll get back from the gym and I'll be like, right, Pringles. Do you know what I mean? Or whatnot. Right, we're bringing the panel on now, ladies and gentlemen. Hit that like and share button. Let's do it. Hi. How are we all? Look at the nerves. Look at the nerves. Look at
man.
Look at that.
No nerves here, man.
No nerves here, mate.
Look at that. Jan, lovely hair, by the way. Liking the new do.
Thanks.
It's all right. No problem. Liking it. I want to go to Jan first on this. You play tonight. Big game. You got the advantage. You're at home. MBAPPE's missing from the starting lineup. But how nervous are you?
Oh gosh, I don't know. I'm always nervous before City play because you just don't know what City you're gonna get. I would say we're in a good position. We're in a better position than I would have thought after the first leg. So yeah, I'm quite happy. That being said, we need to be focused. There's a couple of ways that Pep can go around this game. It's it leaves a little bit of space for overthinking. I hope he doesn't. I hope he's learned from what, from what's happened in previous years. But it does leave a little bit of space for overthinking, because does he defend well and hope that we go through? Or does he go out to win the game and hope to beat them home and away? So it's one of them. It's going to be difficult. It's not going to be easy. They're going to come all guns blazing. Neymar, I thought, was fantastic in the first half of the first leg anyway. So yeah, he's going to want to go through to the final. They haven't won it like Man City, so they're going to want to go to the final again. If they do get there, I don't see them losing back-to-back finals, personally, if they do get there. But yeah, it's going to be difficult. I think Man City, we have a huge advantage with the 2 away goals. And hopefully we can defend well, because I think that's what it will come down to. We can draw and go through. So it will be on the defense ultimately. So yeah, we'll just have to see how we do.
Absolutely. Daniel, in recent weeks, you spoke about how it's hard to overlook PSG because of the quality in their attack. With Mbappe starting on the bench, how much more of an advantage do you think that's going to give Man City tonight? You're on mute, bro.
I think it's huge. Sorry. PSG need the chances that they get, and you've seen it in the past ties that they've had. They get a number of chances, and it normally falls to Mbappe and Neymar, and they don't often take all of them. They're boying Gem in the comments, but what's it called? Yeah, like I think it's tough, man. It's tough. I mean, I even tweeted I want an Mbappe clinic, and he's starting on the bench. It means he's not fully fit, because you start Mbappe, even if there's the slightest chance of him being able to play. I think Man City win this. I think they go through. I can't even lie to you. They're not at full strength. And the argument that I always make is that the reason why I go with PSG more often than not is because they have 2 best players on the pitch at any given time. Well, right now it's kind of even. And if you want to weigh out the talent, I think Man City's talent, especially with Mbappe on the bench, they have more. So yeah, man.
I hear you on that. Anita, Sir Alex Ferguson, he's gone to the PSG. He's been pictured at the PSG hotel. Do you think that's just an innocent, I want to go see some of the top players, or do you think there's an element of mind games going on there?
I don't think it's mind games. Like, I don't think Sir Alex has the time to get up and go do mind games. I think he's gone there to pray. He's gone there to pray and make sure that Man United remain the only team in Manchester with a Champions League trophy. Like, I'm not being funny. When you get like a talk from Sir Alex Ferguson, he was pictured with the president, wasn't he? The president of PSG. Getting a talk from Sir Alex Ferguson is low-key a blessing. So I guess he probably did go in there to kind of, meet the president, or maybe the president wanted to have a chat with him or something like that. I don't know. But if he did go in there, he went in there to pray with them. I'm going to tell you that for free. I don't think he wants Man City to get that Champions League trophy. So, yeah.
No, I hear you on that. I think I've noticed in the pictures of him, you can see he's getting really old. He's kind of got that leaning over walk now, and if they don't fall over. I was like, people are talking about him coming back at some point this season. I was like, leave him alone, man. Let the man rest. He's done a lot for us. He really has. Gem, 2 managers tonight, both are faced with being called bottle jobs if it goes wrong. How do you see the tie going tonight? Do you think City are going to make their first ever Champions League final, or do you think Poch is going to make his and PSG second?
I'll just start off by saying I love pineapples, guys. Like, I know I can see it in the chats. There's tons of you putting up pineapple emojis. Honestly, it's one of my favourite fruits. So if you're going to call me a pineapple, then just know that I actually do like them. So it's not fixed. But anyway, yeah, moving on to the game. I think it's Pep's to lose, isn't it? Obviously, no Kylian Mbappe. Let's be serious in the game. Neymar on the pitch could potentially do something. Di Maria. I mean, looking at it, mate, I just don't see any result other than a Man City win. Only purely because from 1 to 11, I think Man City have got the better team. PSG for me, without Mbappe, Neymar turning up. Even with Neymar turning up, I don't think they've got enough. Verratti, yeah, okay. I think they need goals tonight, and for me, their main goal scorer is not there. So I just don't see it coming any other way than a Man City at least 2-3-0 win. That's what I'm gonna say.
2 or 3-0 with. I mean, that would be. I mean, by the way, the comment section is mad.
You know what? I'm trying to talk, and I'm just seeing these, and it's just like it's
just every single person is just doing it. It's crazy. It's crazy. What I say, viewers, the joke's over now. It's done. You've had your laugh there.
I've become famous for pineapple.
There we go. David, from your point of view, do you share the same sort of view as everybody else that this is Man City's to lose, or do you think that there's a sting in the tail still from PSG?
No, it's definitely Man City's to lose. I mean, Navas basically gave them 2-3 away goals last game. So to not go through from this position would be an almighty bottle. Unfortunately for Poch, no matter what happens, he'll be called a bottle job anyway if they lose. So it's peak for him because they're probably going to lose and City will make the final. Fergie going over there is not going to change anything. It's not like he's going to be like, guys, it's only City. Like, City are actually a really good team. You can't just show off and just be like, oh, yeah, I'll just give these guys a little bit of confidence and then they'll thrash them 4-0. It's not going to happen. And especially with Mbappe on the bench, I really don't see PSG doing it, unfortunately. So,
I hear what you're saying. Sorry to change the subject slightly. There's some news that just broke in relation to Chelsea Football Club this evening. Huge news. Chelsea are to introduce supporter presence at board meetings moving forward from the 1st of July. It says here that Chelsea Football Club announced that from the 1st of July, there will be supporter presence at club board meetings. 3 supporter advisors picked through an election and selection process will attend board meetings to ensure general supporter sentiment is considered as part of the club's decision-making process. The club will now consult with fans forums and several non-official supporters groups to discuss the club's sort of purposes, processes for moving forward. Criteria for nominees as well as final selections will ensure that these supporter presence are representative of our supporters base generally and is inclusive and diverse. A selection will be made before the start of each season. I mean, I know we're talking Champions League tonight, but I mean, that's a massive move from Chelsea Football Club to, I mean, as far as I'm aware, be the first Premier League or the first Big Six team in the Premier League to now allow fans to sit in board meetings and know what's going on. What's your thoughts on that?
All I can say is that's what you call a proper football club. That's all I'm saying, you know. But at the end of the day, it's big news, isn't it? Let's be serious. Like, come on, how can you not be excited about that? Fans being able to get involved.
I mean, it does.
Go on.
It depends on the fan.
It depends on the fan that goes in. Because, like, some fans will be like, let's use every single youth player that we've got from the under-16s. And your other youth players who are like, let's sell everyone and only get in world-class players. So you're going to have a weird combination of people in there. But I don't think they'll have that much power.
I think it's
like that.
Yeah,
Or a PR thing.
I think it's going to probably be more of here's our plans. What do you think? Rather than what do you think we should do type thing. It's more of here's our plans. What do you think? I don't think they're going to have a proper say, as in to like say like, you know, we want more youth players to play or stuff like that. Like it's not a lobby. I don't think they're going to have the power to do that. But I think it's a good start. Hopefully they choose a black woman, i.e. me. Hopefully they choose people that actually represent their supporters, you know, not just people who are, you know, the white middle class, middle-aged men, you know, like let's get some diversity in there. And if they can stick to that, that'll be awesome. I'm all up for it.
No, I agree with that. What you just said there, Annie, 110% agree with it. It's about the right kind of fans going in, and I think having that mixture. So I think it's important to have people from an older generation that have been around longer, but equally what the younger fans want, what female fans want, and everything else. And I think that's going to be very, very important indeed. In terms of the statement, as you can see here, from the 1st of July, supporter presences will be at board meetings. And I think what you've all said makes sense as well in relation to the fact that it's just about knowing what's going on. Chelsea none of the clubs may have started this proposal in the way they did if fans had already been able to express themselves ahead of time. A lot of people here are saying, what about Tory Rory? Should he get a chance? Listen, I don't know if Roman, I mean, he doesn't seem to like Roman according to some tweets that I've seen recently. It's interesting as well that we had Kieran Maguire on this morning that spoke about the 50+1 rule. He basically said it's almost impossible. He said the current value of Premier League clubs is about 15 billion quid With a 50+1 rule, it means those owners need to be paid about £7.5 billion for the ownership. You can't legally, you can't take someone's ownership away. You've got to pay them off. You can't just take it away from them, right? So this kind of thing, I think it's good Chelsea have done it. I think if the clubs act first, it stops the government coming in and legislating and maybe taking away additional powers and stuff like that. But good news. I think good news for football, and well done to Chelsea Football Club for stepping up and being the first to do that. It really does mean a lot. In other Chelsea news today, Daniel, I'd love to get your reaction to this news first, but supposedly your manager is very close to agreeing on a new deal. Just how much does this tell you about the impact that Tuchel has had since he joined Chelsea Football Club?
It's immense, man. It's immense. I mean, you just have to look back at what happened with the Lampard situation. I think Lampard got sacked around the end of January, and we were 10th place, Champions League against Atletico on the horizon, where we thought we were getting knocked out. We just thought the season was going to be another lifeless one, trophyless one where we just have to hold the corner and just look forward to next season, innit? Obviously, Tuchel originally got 18 months. A lot of people are looking into that, reading into that. I was basically saying, look, that's understandable. I mean, they don't want to commit too much because they've made that mistake in the past. So what they're trying to do is let him ease himself in, let him implement what he wants to implement and see how he does there and see what he can do with his team. And you can see that he's come leaps and bounds. He's brought in so much experience, man management, squad utility, like everything about Tuchel is what we in a manager. And I've been saying that when you look at Sarri, Conte, and Lampard, Tuchel shows elements of all three in terms of tactical nows, using a bit of the youth here and there, and then also just implementing or commanding the respect of the players, because I think that's such a huge thing when it comes to Chelsea. You need to command the respect of the players. So, like, I'm just a huge fan of Tuchel. He's actually my favorite manager of the last three managers that we've had. He commands my respect, and I've always said, as a fan, you only go as far, you're only as confident as the manager makes you, and he makes you. Like the fact that we have scored more than 2 goals in only one game, but we've only lost one game, shows you how well and how efficient we are ran. So imagine we become the free scoring team that we anticipate to be next year, because that's just the next thing to work on. I think a lot of people are underestimating as well what he's done with that defense. People are saying that they should have been like this already and they should have been able. No, it's not about that. It's the fact that he has put them in a position to be successful. The fact that Kepa can come in and not face as many shots, but like Kepa looks okay. Like he looks like a calm keeper to have now. And that's due to the defense that he's been able to play. So I will even say that Prime has, I'll give credit to Prime, because he did say that if a better manager sets them up a little bit better, that Kepa will look a bit better. Mendy is still the better keeper for sure, but you have to give credit to Prime in that regard. No, you do. You definitely do. You definitely do. But yeah, man, all in all, Tuchel, man, top quality manager, and in my opinion, second best manager in the league.
No, I hear that completely. I think he's absolutely killed it. David, the new deal's pending. It's going to be announced very, very soon. There's no doubt about it. Big game tomorrow night, though. We know Jem's going to be happy because the pace merchant is out, injured in Raphael Varane. So he's obviously happy, or maybe they've improved somewhat. How are you feeling ahead of tomorrow night, David? Are you confident you've got that away goal, but it is Real Madrid? Where's your head at with the game tomorrow night?
I'm pretty relaxed right now. I'm not too stressed out about it. I think we've got a good chance going through. Unfortunately, Marcelo's been allowed to get out of electoral whatever, so he's actually in the squad. And so is Mendy and Ramos. So they could go back to their back four. But I'm pretty confident. I'm not going to lie. I think we'll make it through. Will they score? I think they might get 1, but I think we can score 2 against them, especially if we finish our chances in the first half. But I think Havertz has got to start next game. Even if it is for Timo Werner, Havertz has got to start, because he will prove why he's 70, 80 million pounds. He's so good. He's so good. And you had a discussion today about how he's a flop, and I'm just sat there thinking, you lot are talking absolute rubbish. This kid is different class. He's actually different class. He's different class. Everyone raving about Mason. Yeah, Mason's good. Also, by the way, I've been looking in the comments. I wouldn't sell Mason, right? That's stupid. Why would I do that? But for me, Havertz for me is the guy. Like Havertz is the guy, and I want to see him start tomorrow because I think it'd be absolutely essential. So yeah.
Where is this talk? Where would this talk happen about Havertz being a flop?
In the group chat.
In the chat.
Oh,
Your people.
new one I made.
Yes,
Yeah.
a new one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I read it. Sorry. Busy.
Yeah.
So who called him a flop?
Cam.
Cam.
What
Like
Canadian?
with chess.
No, but Cam
Chess.
called him a
No,
flop. Let's get it right. Cam called him a flop. Cam called him a flop at the beginning of this season, so he wants him to be a flop. Like, there's no way out. Has to.
We're snitching on him.
Like, what is it?
Get him out of group chat, Terry. Like, that's a madness to me. It really is. Neat. So I want to ask you this though. Speaking of flops, are you fearful of this man tomorrow?
I don't know why we'd speak of flops and speak of Eden Hazard, to be honest, but hey. Yeah, of course, I'm 100% fearful because the thing is, a fit Eden Hazard has the ability to turn a game on its head, and we all know that. That's why I'm not as comfortable as I would be on a normal basis. Like, I'm just not that comfortable. I'm confident at the moment, but can Eden Hazard come around and turn this game around? Yeah, I think so, but at the end of the day, I do have to put my bias aside. No matter how good I think Eden Hazard is, he hasn't been a regular starter for Real Madrid. Obviously, he's been out injured, and he's been out injured for quite a long time. So it would take a miracle for him to come in and immediately slide through and make that difference. I am extremely biased when it comes to him, but putting my bias aside, I don't think he will affect us too tough tomorrow, if I'm being honest with you. I hope that doesn't come back to bite me, but if it does, either way I win because I'm an Eden Hazard stan. But I don't think he can come and do anything. And he showed it when he came on for half an hour last week. When he came on, I didn't feel his presence at all. I think he's a shadow of himself at the moment, but I don't know. I could just be, I don't know. I could just be a bit pessimistic on his end.
No, let's be.
Yeah, sorry, go on then.
No, I was just gonna say we can be honest, man. Like, regardless
Yeah.
of it, like, he's been poor at Real Madrid. Yes, the injuries have affected him and whatnot, but it's been a flop of a move. It hasn't worked out. If you even remember when when Real Madrid faced Man City last year, he didn't look good in either leg. I think, did he play the second leg at the Bernabeu? I'm not sure, but the first leg he was terrible. Like, I remember that clearly in my mind. He got taken off after an hour as well, and he wasn't even injured those times. So it hasn't been a great move. But then again, look, you never know. He only needs one moment, one game to show his real talent. But
all about individual brilliance. Like, he only needs that one moment to show that brilliance. But literally going off of how he's been at Real Madrid, I don't know.
Yeah.
He's just that talisman for him, and he needs to be the talisman for him to shine. And I don't know. I don't see him hurting us tomorrow, personally. Ooh, I'm sorry.
Listen, you're allowed to make your claims. That's what we're here for, giving our opinions regardless. And listen, I know it's hard when you have. I remember when we played Real Madrid in 2013, and Ronaldo was there. I did feel torn. Like 99% of me wanted United to win, but there was still this love for Ronaldo where I was like, maybe he can get a he actually got a really important goal in that game and destroyed us in the second leg as well. So yeah, but there we go. From your point of view, Jan, when you look at Chelsea's situation, you know how good Real Madrid are, but would you put them down as your favourites to get through their semi-final second leg?
It's a difficult one with Real Madrid because obviously we did play them last season. I don't think they're as good as they have been in previous years when they had like Ronaldo and they had a bit of a younger squad than they've got now. It's a hard one because I would never rule them out because I know what they're like and I know what they've done in the past. But I don't think they're quite as good as they were, if you know what I mean. So I think Chelsea have a good chance. They've got an away goal. I do think Real Madrid will score. I can't see Chelsea keeping them out, especially people like Benzema. Like, he's just got an unreal record in the Champions League. So I think he will score. So it'll just be up to how clinical Chelsea are. I think that's what it'll come down to. I think with Man City, I think it's our defence that will send us through. And with Chelsea, I think it's their attack. So I feel like it's the opposite for the games. So yeah, we'll have to see what happens, obviously, but I don't know what any is.
Anita shook. She's like, our attack.
Yeah,
Yeah, because I do think they'll score. So I think, obviously, if they score, you would then, if it's 1-1, it's extra time. So you need to score 2 goals. So
Do you know what? That's what I'm scared about. If they score first, I don't know what we're gonna do. That's what I'm scared about.
We haven't done it before, yeah.
Exactly. And I
Yeah.
remember Dan mentioned it on the last preview for this match. Yeah, we have not come from being a goal down. How are we gonna react? Listen. I'm saying our defense is what's gonna keep us in this. If we can keep a 0-0, if we can keep Benzema under control, we'll be fine. But going forward, we saw the match last week. Yeah, sorry, I wasn't here for the flipping review after, but we saw the match last week. We saw what Timo Werner is capable of missing. We saw all of that. We saw how our counter-attacks just crumbled. Our counter-attacks kept crumbling. And do you know what? We're going to go into it. But don't get me wrong. I think our attack can send us on. But I'm telling you for free, I'm not banking on them at all.
Just mad. I did when Werner missed that chance early on in that game. I thought my brain went straight to. I wonder how Anita's dad is looking at her right now. That's
when I told you, my dad, he did a slow motion head turn. He was like this. Like it's so embarrassing, man. It's honestly embarrassing. But sorry.
No. Listen, I hear you on that. We're going to go to look at the Chelsea starting lineup and who we think should play in this game. But before that, I'll go back to the Man City game. Of course, that kicks off tonight. Who do you expect to start in key positions? And I'm talking more up front because Raheem Sterling's linked with a big money move away to Real Madrid. Like it looks like his career is coming to an end at City right now. Aguero, his career is coming to an end. Do you expect to see either of Aguero or Sterling to start? Or do you think there's going to be some kind of, do you think it might be like Ruben Diaz playing false 9 or something weird that Pep might throw out?
With Pep, you never know. I think he has to play the same squad that he has been playing. The false 9 works well for us. We have been in situations where this season where we have conceded first and we've managed to still win the game. Foden has been one of our key players. A little bit quiet against PSG in the first half, but he's been one of our best players. He's got 2 of the winners, I think, in previous games. So, yeah, I think Foden needs to start. It just depends who plays the false 9. I think we work quite well when De Bruyne plays a false 9, but he doesn't have as much of his influence that he has in the midfield, putting the ball on a plate for the attacking players. So I don't know if Pep will play him as a false 9 or not. Riyad Mahrez, for me, was my man of the match in the first leg. I thought he was excellent. He was great going forward. He was great defensively. And he got a fantastic goal. I know it's a little bit lucky that the wall, it went through the wall, but it was still a fantastic free kick. So, yeah, I think Mahrez has to start, definitely. Foden, it's one of these situations, like I would love to see Aguero. I would love the fairy tale of Aguero gets a goal to send us to the final. I would love that, but he's just not at his best. Like, don't get me wrong, he scored a fantastic goal against Crystal Palace. But I don't think he's going to be as clinical as he has been in the past. I think depending on how the game goes, maybe Pep can change it. But I think he has to start that false 9. I think we've got our most successful results with that. Zinchenko, I thought, was really good when he came on. He influenced the win, definitely. So I would put Zinchenko in there. I don't think Cancelo, as good as he's been this season, his form at the moment is a little bit shaky. I think he's much better on the right. Kyle Walker in the first leg was really good. He has to start. So I can't see Cancelo playing. Maybe because Mbappe is not starting. Pep might see that as let's start Cancelo. I don't know. But it's interesting. I'm a bit worried about with City, when we come up against the best, we tend to do okay. Like we've seen it with Haaland. I worry more about people like Moise Kean. That's who I'm more scared of. Mbappe, we kept Mbappe quiet. I don't think he'd be quiet for both legs, to be honest. I do think he would score if he plays. That being said, it's just something about City. Like we tend to get knocked out by worse teams rather than the best teams, Like Real Madrid was fairly straightforward. We went through. Then we got Lyon. We should be beaten. And that was a problem for us. So I don't think a weakened PSG helps Man City in the way that people would think. But yeah, I think I'd love to see Aguero come on if it's not going well. If they get 2 goals, I would love to see Aguero come on, because if we go out, at least he's played his part in that. And I think it would be a shame for him to not win a Champions League and not have a say in that. You know, if he comes on and he doesn't score and we go out, then, you know, we can hold our hands up and say, well, we tried, you know.
Yeah, I can't say that I'd be sad if Man City and Aguero don't ever win a Champions League as a Man United fan, but I hear it from your perspective 110%. Viewers, just under 1,500 of you watching us live right now. Make sure the like button is hit. Please share the stream as well. There's a few people reportedly not enjoying the stream or what we're talking about. So what I'm going to do is just block you. And then, you don't need to, you don't need to listen to our terrible opinions and our terrible thoughts. And I don't know, maybe there's 2 women on here and maybe that's just damaging your weak little male brain a little bit too much. Maybe that's the problem. So I'm going to do you a touch here and remove you from a situation that's clearly triggering your pea-sized brain. Okay, thank you. We're going to move on now. I love being passive aggressive sometimes. It's one of my favorite things to do. We're going to take a look here at the Chelsea lineup, or what this is Daniel and Anita's lineup, and they actually picked exactly the same team. I hope I've got the formation kind of right when we put this up on the screen. But they've gone for Mendy in goal. Back 3, Christensen, Rudiger, Silva. Fullbacks of Chilwell and James. Kante and Jorginho in the middle. Pulisic, Mount, and Kai Havertz in a kind of 3-pronged attack, or 2 10s with a false 9. Neat, what made you pick a team like this tonight?
Oh boy. For me personally, the back 3 speaks for themselves. I think they put up a very good fight against Real Madrid last week. So where something doesn't need mending, I wouldn't change it. I also stand by where something doesn't need changing, you don't change it. And I feel Azpilicueta is at that right wing back role, he needs to rest. So that's why I put James in. I feel like James, when he came on, he gave us that much of a boost, especially defensively and going forward. He can do it both. So I'd get James in there. Kante and George, again, it worked last week, and obviously Kovacic is out. I wouldn't get Billy Gilmore in there, obviously, for obvious reasons. And when it comes to Pulisic, Havertz, and Mount, Pulisic always starting for me. I think his pace is going to be necessary, but he needs to work on his decision making. But I do count on his pace in getting in behind Real Madrid's defense much easier than last week. And I also think Mason Mount, he starts regardless. He's the first name on the team sheet. Kai Havertz instead of Timo Werner, because we need to bury the chances we get. Even if the chances that we get, that we don't get the goals, but we get them on target, I would rather have that than seeing Timo Werner just completely miss, or Timo Werner making a wrong pass, the wrong move. Kai Havertz, he's a much more decisive player in that false 9 role. So I'd rather have him up top for me than Timo Werner. And if we can rely on Mason Mount's pace and Christian Pulisic's pace up front just to deliver the balls to Kai Havertz, I think we can get a couple goals in. But that's only if it is Kai Havertz up top and not Timo Werner.
I hear you on that. Great points made there, Neat. Daniel, you picked the same team as well. Anything to add on what Neat said?
Yeah, no, I'm going to echo what Neat said in terms of the output end of the field. It's just Kai Havertz's composure when it comes to finishing, just to kind of reinforce what Anita was saying. If you saw the way he took his goals against Fulham, and I know it's against Fulham, but we've seen it constantly when he's finished his chances. He has all the time in the world. He takes his time. He knows what to do. He knows where the goal is, and I know that when he's in form, he's going to be quality in terms of his output. So when you're facing Real Madrid, high stakes, and I've said it a number of times. The reason why we are so annoyed with Timo Werner now, or someone like me anyway, is that the fact that we're playing with we're playing with serious money, high stakes, and crunch time, and Werner's not taking his chances. So I'd rather have a guy who I know will take his chances. I think we're quick enough already. I don't think Mount, Pulisic, and Kai Havertz is a slow front 3 at all. I don't necessarily believe Werner changes much, if that makes sense. But the other key decision is the Azpilicueta and Reece James thing. I just think Azpilicueta was, in my opinion, the worst player in the first leg. He was getting torn apart on that side. on the right wing back, and then obviously going forward we lose out on a man because Azpilicueta is not the greatest going forward as well. And I also think that if there's the possibility of Furlong Mendy playing, there is no way in hell Azpilicueta can be on that right wing back position. No way. As in, it just can't happen because Vinicius Jr. and Furlong Mendy will be having a field day on that side. So yeah, Reece James has to play just because of his strength, pace, and everything to do with that.
The only reason Aspie caught life was because of Marcelo. I'm telling you that for free. That's the only reason why he caught life last week.
He was struggling like so bad. I've never seen him like that since like Sterling did it to him a couple seasons back.
Well, I don't know. I think Tuchel's going to do it a little bit different, if you want my honest opinion, looking at that. I agree with everything that both Dan and Anita said. I air it 100%. If we're going on what I think Tuchel's going to do in this game, I don't like seeing Aspie playing right wing back, and I agree that he was getting torn to shreds in terms of his pace. But the only reason I think he may start over a Reece James is just purely his experience. In these type of games, you're in a semi-final of the Champions League, you need to have experience on that pitch. Look at Chelsea from 1 to 11, right? We don't have that much experience as it is anyway. All right, if Kante starts and Thiago Silva starts, there's your experience. You look at the front line, we haven't got experience. Our average age up front is like, what is it, 22, 23? You know, it's a very young team, a team that's not been in this position before in a semi-final. So if he doesn't play Reece James, the only reason he doesn't play him is because he believes that he needs to have experience in that team lineup. And the only other thing that might surprise you, again, is Timo Werner starting. Because I think if he does start, then it will probably be for Pulisic. Even though I wouldn't want that. This is not me saying it.
No. I don't think it'll be. I don't think it'll be a surprise, Jem, if he starts Timo Werner or Azpilicueta. We're not saying it's a surprise. I think me and Neats are coming from the perspective of that this is the team we would want to see. And if Timo Werner does start, which I do anticipate him starting, it won't be for Pulisic. It'll definitely be for Havertz. Pulisic is starting. Like the guys that got rested, you can there's an inkling where they might start, but then Tuchel might have a change of heart, like he did against West Ham, where he said he thinks the team performed so well against Fulham, he wants to start the same team in that game as well. I know for sure he's playing those three centre backs because he said the reason why he's not playing Aspie as a centre back is due to the height issue. So corners and stuff like that. You don't want Ramos and all them guys towering over Aspie. But yeah, I understand that sentiment, but we're just saying this is the team we would want to see.
No, I agree.
I was going to say my only difference for that team would be Aspie for Christensen. That'd be it. That's my only.
I didn't say that. I wanted to say that. But...
That is literally it. That's the only difference I'd make. Everything else I pretty much agree with.
That makes sense.
I think especially if it's 0-0, like Real Madrid are putting on more pressure, bringing on a fresh Timo Werner off the bench isn't even a bigger advantage than starting him and then having him constantly keep playing.
Do any of you think that's what you want and what you would pick? And I agree with pretty much everything that's been said. But do any of you think Timo's gonna? Do you think Timo will start? Do you think he's gonna go with him?
Yeah.
I think he's gonna go. In my honest opinion, I think he's gonna go Mason Mount. I actually think Kai Havertz is gonna start, but I think Timo Werner's gonna play off him. That's what I think he's gonna do.
Start Kai, and he will start Pulisic. Pulisic got rested for the whole of the Fulham game. He will play in this game tomorrow. Like facts.
You could but you say that, then you could argue that about Aspie.
What about?
He was just saying
he
that's play on the weekend as well. He's been rested.
Yeah. So could you guys see a Kante Mount and then play Pulisic?
No. What I'll say is a big reason why I want Havertz to start over Werner is because in a game where we need to front run, because we need to score the first goal and we possibly need to score 2 goals just to be safe. You want your best finishers on the pitch, and Kai Havertz is our best attacking finisher, in my opinion. So he has to play.
Can I ask a question?
From what I've seen so far.
Can I ask a question? Can I ask just a question? So where does Callum Hudson-Odoi land in this? Because he's a great finisher, but just want to put that out there.
He's not a good
Daniel,
finisher.
that was to Daniel, because Daniel's his biggest fan.
Okay.
Yeah, chose my boy. You know he will always be my boy, but I've said he's going to become great at another club. It's not going to be at Chelsea. I just don't think he's getting the chances that he deserves. And we've seen it again under Tuchel, where even though he initially starting, I believe when you get to this time of the season, if you're not seeing the players that you want to see, it's an inclination as to how the manager views you. So I just don't think Cho's going to succeed.
Do you think he deserves the chance, though? Do you think he deserves it in the game? in this game,
I know I
personally,
do. Oh, in this game,
yeah,
it's hard to argue. It's hard to argue because
know
we
what I
haven't
love
seen him for so long.
What I love about what Daniel said there, you just basically did that the breakup. Like, do you know what? You're a lovely
Yeah.
person. It's you,
Yeah.
it's me. Like, it's not you, it's me thing. Just some news that's coming out now. Some French outlets have reported PSG starting lineup to be Navas is starting in the team. The names I can see here: Navas is starting, Herrera is starting, Icardi is starting. I'm not too sure on everybody else on that yet. It's just like from RMC Sports, someone put it out. So they randomly put Navas' name. I thought Navas would start anyway, but Herrera starts and Icardi starts in place of Kylian Mbappe. I think everybody else is pretty much as you would expect. So that's now confirmed that he is out. That Mbappe is starting on the bench, to say the least. Mark here with a super chat. Make sure you get your super chat questions in for the panel. We are going to take some of your calls a little bit later as well, so stay with us here at the terrace. Guys, please pray for Colombia. The government is killing its citizens by peacefully protesting. Sorry, I need to shed light on the matter. Not a problem at all. And of course, I'm not going to give an opinion on something I'm not aware of, but I take your word as the truth. And I'm sorry to hear that that's going on over in Colombia. And I hope everybody gets home to their family and friends as safely as possible. And yeah, the madness that goes on around the world sometimes, absolutely is. Agal keeps Agal. I don't know where you've been, Agal. We spoke about this 15 minutes ago, bro. Come on, get with the program, bro. Get with the program. But thank you very much for reaching out, mate. Do appreciate that. There is some other interest. I don't know if you've seen this news today, Jan, about Man City, that supposedly they're fighting a secret battle against the Premier League for FA breaches. There's a sort of journalist from the New York Times that's reported on it. Is this something that City fans have known about or heard that's been going on for a while?
I saw a little while ago, probably about a month ago now, I saw like it was kind of like a photograph of the court. Like it said that Man City are going to court for something, but he didn't say what it was, didn't say who it was with. And a few people were saying, oh, it'll just be like a yellow card or red card that they're appealing. But then other people were saying no, because it wouldn't have come out like that, because they do that all the time. So I did hear about it. Obviously, I didn't know what it was. It's come out today that they're going to court again. Man City like going to court. It is what it is. Honestly, I don't know. I think it's to do with the Premier League and something about financial fair play.
Yeah.
It's kind of boring to hear of it now. Like Man City have come out, they've shown everything to UEFA. They were found not guilty. So I don't know what the Premier League are going to find that UEFA couldn't. Like,
well, the article is again, I've got to read the article again because it's one of those things. It's legal based, but essentially they're saying that the Premier League doesn't have the same 5-year cap for evidence. So a lot of the evidence that was against City was past a 5-year cap, meaning that it was inadmissible. But the Premier League don't have that ruling. So the Premier League are essentially saying that we could potentially find you guilty because we don't have a time bar issue here, which will be, and there's no account for what's going to happen if they are found guilty in this. I just thought it was an interesting one because it's been silent. Like there's been no sort of news about it at all. But I thought an interesting day for journalists being journalists. They release it 3 hours before the kickoff of the biggest game in your club history.
They always do. That Sterling story as well is only there for that reason. Like, I'm not saying that he won't leave, because Sterling has always said that, he might take on a new challenge. I think he's been key for us in the past 3-4 years. I think this year he hasn't been great. We have been playing almost without him this season. He's only really come in for games that we've needed him to come in because we're rotating. Towards the end of the season anyway. He had a good spell in sort of February, January when Man City were really, really good. He did play well in them periods, but he's not been at his best. But yeah, I think every time we had a derby, it was Aguero's leaving, Aguero's going to Real Madrid. It's just the same thing every year. Like, I'll believe it when I see it. But there's always a story before a big game for Man City. Every time there's a big story about how we're doing something wrong, or something about, Sheikh Mansour, something like that. So, not surprising.
No, I hear you on that. It would just be interesting to see. We have actually reached out to that journalist. We want to try and get him on just to understand it because it's just a new story. We'll see what's said. I don't see you being found guilty of anything. I really don't. The Premier League football associations never win these battles, really. And even when they give out punishments, they're always watered down after an appeal, if that makes sense. Teams always get away with something, and the only team that, even with Chelsea, like I know you had a 2-window ban, but I swear originally it was longer, but it gets reduced. Whatever happens, it never quite happens how, the media was, a team could get a 20-points deduction and whatever. And in the end, you have to, you do 3 hours community service and pay a £20 fine or whatever. It's like, it's almost pointless. We're going to go to some calls from the audience. We want you to come on and have your say, ask the panel any questions you want. Before we do that, though, I want to get your predictions for both City PSG, Chelsea Real Madrid. Huge games. We'll go to Jan first. Predictions, maybe not the score prediction, but who's going to pick your 2 finalists for me, please, Jan.
God, I have to back my team, so let me say Man City. And I think it'll be Chelsea, to be honest. That's what I think. I hope not. I'd rather not play, just in case it goes badly. I'd rather not play an English team. But, yeah, I think City should be getting through with the situation that we're having, us being at home. Even though our home form's not as good and their away form's better, I do think, we should be going through. I think Chelsea will edge it. I think Chelsea have to win 2-1 because I think Real Madrid will score. So I think it'll have to be 2-1 if they go through. I can't see them scoring like 3. I can't see it being like 3-1. I think it'll be 2-1. Man City, I honestly don't know what the score will be. It seems to be 2-1. All our games this season in the Champions League recently have been either 2-0 or 2-1. So I think we should hopefully win 2-1. But yeah, we can go through on a draw. So hopefully we go through.
I hear you on that. Listen, I love an all English fight. I think we're going to get 4 English teams in all the across all the European cups. Well, Man United are definitely there. So there we go. See if the rest of you can join us. Not that as big as yours. I am jealous. Jem, what's your predictions, bro?
Hate this. All right, City, because I've said City will go through as well, and then Chelsea.
Say it, no two-backer stuff here. Say it your from.
Nah, City and Chelsea final. I'm going to back my team anyway, like I always do. In terms of the scoreline, I forgot about Icardi. I think he could actually have quite a big part to play tonight. Mm-hmm. You can nod your head, bruv, Dan, but trust me, Icardi's not a bad player. I reckon they'll score, but they won't beat Man City. I still think Man City will win 3-1 in that game. I don't think they're going to score, Real Madrid. I actually think I don't think they're going to score. I'm going to go with a 2-0 Chelsea.
2-0 Chelsea. Daniel, who's making the final, mate?
Chelsea are making the final. Definitely making the final. Champions League final. Chelsea are going to be there. And they will be facing Man Blue of Manchester. So yeah, it should be a good, nice all-English final. Battle of the billionaires, or whatever you want to call it. But hopefully Chelsea make the final. That's my prediction with Man City. Prediction for Man City game would be 1-1. I think it'll be 1-1. And then the prediction for the Chelsea game, I think we'll win 2-1.
David, what you saying? Who's making the final?
Because you've all gone so safe, I'm going to go a bit reckless here. I'm saying it's going to be PSG Chelsea in the final. I'm going with a 3-1 PSG win. If Icardi can score goals like he scores under other people's wives, you lot are in big trouble. So yeah, 3-1 PSG, and Chelsea are going to win 2-1. That's my prediction.
Man went full on. Man went Ryan Giggs reckless. We don't need no Ryan Giggs reckless out here, bro. Anita, once you get over the shock of what David just said, who's making the Champions League final?
Oh man, I think it's definitely gonna be Man City. I personally think Man City. If Man City bottled this, I will be absolutely shocked and dumbfounded. But guys, call me a pessimist, but I think I want it to be Man City, Chelsea. And you guys are looking at me. I know. Stop looking at me. Stop looking at me. Listen, all I'm saying is, right, when it comes to Real Madrid, the experience is the one thing they've got over us. And watching back the game, we didn't get lucky. I think we really blew our chances. If we were 2-0 up, I'll be more confident to say that Chelsea goes into the final straight. Cool. But I think we really blew our chances. And I don't know if we can score 2 goals. But hey, but yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. Okay,
No, you can't leave it there.
Man City, Chelsea. But I'm telling you, it's going to be difficult.
That's it. That's what I want to hear.
But all I'm saying is 2 goals would have made us cushy. If Real Madrid score 1 goal and we cannot reciprocate, we are out. I'm just putting it out there. 1 goal.
We know that.
And if we cannot reciprocate with their world-class defenders that they've got, Ramos is back. Yeah, we got to put that in mind as well. Ramos is back. Ramos can either score or have one of the best defensive displays ever. I'm just saying. I'm just putting it out there.
Let me tell you now. Ferland Mendy was injured. Sergio Ramos had COVID and was injured. Federico Valverde had COVID, and they're all in the squad. Like, so they do fear us. They're not trying to.
No, don't get me wrong.
Lightly. Do you know what I'm saying?
I genuinely feel like they do fear us 100%, and the fact that they're in the squad shows the fact that they fear us. But they also rested them, and let's keep it real. They could have been back last week. Yeah, reports said that they could have been back last week. So they rested them for this purpose, especially. And then again, it's always the one thing that I keep saying. Experience is so key in this competition. It is unreal. And when you've got experience with players that have won this 4 times in recent years, it's not like they won it 4 times 10 years ago. They won it in this, well, not this decade anymore, but the decade before. They've won it 4 times. They've done a 3-peat. Should I
tell you what the key factor is though in all those wins? Cristiano Ronaldo. They've never won it.
Yeah, I agree. So I agree. But should I tell you also what the second factor was? Their midfield. And their midfield trumps.
Listen, don't worry about it, man. The pace merchant is not playing. Don't worry about it. The pace merchant is finished. I told you. We're winning it. 3-4-0.
Beasters will come in my mentions again, but
that's not. Yeah, I'm not doing nothing on that one. I learned my lesson.
The Beasters are so horrible. They are horrible.
Listen, do you know what happened? When you come out tomorrow night, it's getting rammed down their throat. That's all I'm saying. No, I'm not. And listen, I told you your bums. But yeah, listen, I'm going to English final. I think Man City are going to demolish Paris Saint-Germain tonight. I'm going 3-0. I just. I'm being serious. I can say this because I've got no vested interest in it. PSG are going to attack. They're going to open up, and Manchester City are going to destroy them. Tomorrow night, different set of affairs. But man, Chelsea are not getting broke down. Chelsea are keeping a clean sheet tomorrow night. You only conceded through an absolute weldy of a goal. The only 2 goals in the Champions League you've conceded under Tuchel have been 2 of the best goals you're going to see in the Champions League.
You know what it is? Do you know why I'm scared about that? Because Real Madrid can score goals like that. Like, they have the facility to do that. You have Toni Kroos there who can just come out of nowhere and give you one bedazzling goal. And the thing is, one thing I do respect about Chelsea, is when you get in our box, it is difficult for you to get past us. Simple. But all they need to do is find a little bit of space. Benzema had 1 second, 1 inch of space, buried it. That one shot, he took it, buried it. Toni Kroos, we gave Toni Kroos space. He's shooting on goal. We gave him space like 2-3 times. He was shooting on goal, even though he didn't hit the target. Benzema as well, shooting on goal straight away. It's about them shooting from outside the box, and if Mendy is able to deal with it,
that can happen. That can happen, and I totally get that. I'm saying Chelsea win 2-0, City win 3-0, all English final, Premier League on top. Because we're the best league in the world. As simple as that.
I don't know why people don't want an all English final. Fam, I want England to be on top again. Let's have an all English final
you know
in the Europa League and in the Champions League like it was 2019. Let's do it. I want it.
Remember when Jem said about Man City and Chelsea getting to the Champions League final on here, and if Chelsea beat Man City in the FA Cup, the other team winning the Champions League. Do you remember that?
I know you did. You did. Bro here says PSG and Chelsea final. Chelsea are going to beat Real Madrid 3-1 on aggregate. Werner and Havertz to score is what Ro thinks there. Winter Surfer put a super chat in. I want to go back and see if I can find it. There it is. He says, Terry, I will say it with chest. Chelsea are going through. There is nothing to fear about this Real Madrid side. Chelsea, do you know how confident Chelsea fans are now compared to, say, 3 months ago? It's an absolute madness. We're going to go to some calls now. We've already shared the link once or twice. We'll share it again if you want to come on and have your say. We're talking Man City. We're talking Chelsea. But this is your chance to shine, your chance to have your say. That's the wrong button, Terry. That's the wrong button, Terry. That's the right button. Got it wrong twice. First up, Liverpool fan. Man like Tom Little, who, by the way, is 19. Everyone's go, oh, Terry, you had a kid on the show drinking. He's 19. Do you know what? He sent me his ID to prove it as well. He sent me his ID. Man like Tom Little is here. What you saying, mate?
Oh, I don't, you know what? It's easier for me to say now. I don't want an all-English final. Putting that off. No. As long as Man City don't win, I'm all right. That's the only thing we've got on them at the minute. We've got it in Europe. You haven't. I'm open for PSG tonight. Mate, I don't think they're going to get it done. You know, Mbappe's on the bench. I mean, he doesn't really turn up in big games much now anyway, apart from Barca. But, like, in the last Man City game, he really struggled to get into it. It was all Neymar. You know, when he's up against these physical defenders who'll go tight against him, that's not his play style, is it? Neymar was the clear efficient one last time. This game may suit Icardi more. Maybe not. But honestly, if PSG get it done tonight, it's parties. As long as City don't win. That's all I want. I don't care if Chelsea win. You've already got one. I'm not bothered. Just don't let them win. Jesus Christ.
Can I say something? You know what? I think you're actually right with the Icardi thing because, like you said, like Neymar was really running the show when it was a Man City PSG last week, and Neymar was really running the show, and they really did cut Mbappe out of the picture. So maybe if Icardi could get into those spaces that Mbappe struggled to get into, like pick up the ball, and maybe we might see some kind of overlap with Icardi and Neymar as well. It might be interesting to see if Neymar pushes a bit more forward also. So yeah, I think you're spot on there personally.
Like I think Mbappe needs the ball. He strives off dribbling at defenders and taking them on. Icardi doesn't like to dribble. Icardi just is a natural finisher. He gets in them positions and buries with one or two touches, which is why I think it played into Ruben Diaz's hands last time because he's quite happy. He's that good of a defender. He'll show up on Mbappe and force them out wide, and then they're neutralised. They've got to try and cross it, and there's no one there.
Only reason why I'd slightly disagree with that is because I would say, especially in recent weeks, if you look at the teams that have beaten Man City, it's being able to capitalise in behind. Chelsea, Leeds, and Man United all capitalised on the high line and the fact that Man City sometimes leave gaps in behind. So I don't know about the Icardi tip, but then again, it's something different, isn't it? So you never know.
Yeah, I'm thinking more about the link up with Icardi and Neymar. That will be interesting, you know, because Icardi can drop a bit deeper than Mbappe would usually drop, you know. So if Icardi can drop a bit deeper, I'm talking like more of a Kane-esque CDM type role, whatever. And Neymar is the one that's getting in behind the defenders, and Neymar's burying it. I won't put it past PSG to go down that route, and that can be interesting to see. But yeah,
you know what? I do get that as well. The idea that PSG didn't exploit it like Leeds and Chelsea did, but I think that's because PSG weren't playing the same passes that Leeds and Chelsea did. PSG were a little bit more short of passing, trying to get these nice passing moves. Leeds and Chelsea were direct. It was straight over the top, straight through the gaps, get your pacey players in. With PSG, it was get Neymar on the ball in that space between the midfield and the defence. Let him work. If he plays it behind, we're good. But that's when the City defence will drop off because you'd be stupid to push out to challenge Neymar.
What I think is going to be really interesting. Thank you for your call, by the way, Tom. Really appreciate that, mate. We'll speak to you again soon. It's what have City been working on? Have they been working to deal with Mbappe and then suddenly he's out, he's injured, it's Icardi? Have they done as much work on that at all, or because I feel like that's where Pep sometimes come undone in big games at City as well. With this, we just play our way. He got beat by Liverpool bad in this competition because he played his way, and where if he'd adapted himself, there would have been less gun ho, allowed less space in behind. Maybe Liverpool wouldn't have run away with that game over the 2 legs. I know there was a few dodgy refereeing decisions as well, but it's an interesting one. Next up, we've got Abs on. Abs is a Chelsea fan. He's got the scarf on already. What you saying, bro?
10 men went to. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm not on that tonight. All right, so where do I start? First of all, Jem, what are you on about? You really think that Christian Dior Palacio, man like flipping Icardi, is going to turn over against Man City? He's not doing anything. He's not going to do anything. Trust me, Man City are going to cook PSG. They're going to cook them hard. Even if Mbappe isn't starting, which will probably be better, because Mbappe was rubbish against Man City. But trust me, they're gonna knock PSG out. It's gonna be so comfortable.
Wait a minute. If you allow Icardi any time in the box, that's his game. In the box, in the penalty area. If they allow him that time in front of goal, he will score because he is a clinical finisher. That is his game. Icardi is a natural finisher. That's his game. So if Man City haven't set up knowing that Icardi's playing, what they should do is play higher up, make sure that he's as far as possible away from the penalty box. Anything near the penalty box, and he gets a sniff of it. You see what Benzema done? I guarantee you Icardi will do the same if they allow him at that time in the box.
1 second, I want to ask Jan a question here. You don't look too comfortable with people saying City are going to do this easy.
Yeah. It's some City fans are saying I can just see us losing 3-2 and going out on away goals. That's just the way it's happened for us. I do think our defense is better this season. I do have a little bit of confidence. We are the only unbeaten team in the Champions League. That's there for a reason, so it's one of them things. I think we've won 10, drawn 1, so our record's been quite good, and I think that hopefully will go for us. But again, Champions League is all on moments, and 2 bad moments in the game and you're out, 2 good moments and you're through. So it will just depend on what happens. I think our defense needs to be on point. They were in the first leg. I can't deny it. Especially that second half, City were just brilliant. If we play like we did in the second half for that game, hopefully, we can get a goal or 2, and then hopefully it won't matter what they do. But yeah, we just need to keep them from scoring, because a lot of the times we've gone out by conceding 3 away goals. How many times have we conceded 3 away goals? Monaco, 3 away goals. Tottenham, I think it was 4 in the end. Well, 3 away goals, 1 home goal to them. And it's been us conceding too many away goals. So if we can keep them quiet, then we've got every chance of going through. But it's not going to be simple. It's not going to be a straightforward game. It's not going to be 3-0 Man City. It's going to be one of them cagey games where just hopefully we just go through. And, if it gets to, I think the longer the game goes on, if it's 0-0 to the 70th, 80th minute, they're going to start panicking because they know they need to score 2. So it'll put pressure on them. If they get an early goal, I think it puts things in their hands, unfortunately. So I think we need to be the one to score the first goal. So yeah, hopefully we can do it. But I don't think it's going to be straightforward.
I hear you. Do you know what it is? I miss feeling how you feel right now. I haven't been in a semi-final of the Champions League for a decade. It's that sort of, you want to be as confident as that, but you don't want to. You say we're going to do it, and then it goes the other way. I get all that. Abs, just finally before you go, mate, are you confident of beating Real Madrid tomorrow night?
It depends. If they start Ramos and they start Uncle Ben's, then in the words of Jay Huss, it's going to be a disaster for them, man. There. We've got, also what I will say about our defense is we've improved the defense. We used to have a back like Miley Cyrus. Now we've got a back like Jennifer Lopez. And that's probably one thing that's going to go in our favor. If we can defend properly, make sure we don't pass around in the middle, because in the middle, they could just split us open like this because of what Cruz and Modric should do. So if we pass around, if Uncle Ben's doesn't have a masterclass, if Ramos ain't starting, also if Werner isn't starting, because on my life he's playing against us. If he does not start, then we should go through. I'm saying, 2-1. That'd be a calm score, to be fair. But yeah.
There we go. Listen, mate, I'm loving the analogies, bro. I'm liking the analogies. How long do you spend rehearsing them and writing them down?
Terry, I'm a lyricist. It just comes naturally, doesn't it?
No. Make one now about our forward line. Make one now about our forward line.
Right now.
About our forward line. All right. So, in fact, no, I've made this so many times. I've already told Terry. What's the most appropriate way of saying this? Because there's women on the panel as well.
It's all right.
I promise, like, and even it's been a weird these past few months. No,
lyricist, eh? Come on, bro. Nothing that's offensive.
All right. As I said, we're the equipment downstairs that can't even get hard without Viagra, but with a Viagra, furthermore. That's what we are. They just can't get clicking for some reason. Don't know what it is. Just a bit.
Oh, bro, I love you. You've murdered it. You've murdered your analogy. We know what you mean. Yeah, listen, bro.
You put him on the spot.
Abs, thank you very much for coming on, man, and having your say top man. I love it. He comes on every week. He's only like last few weeks he started putting a camera on. I give him respect for that because a lot of people don't. Next caller we're going to is Mohammed. Mohammed's a Liverpool fan. What do you want to say?
Okay, thank you for having me on today. I just want to talk about the Champions League games today and tomorrow. So I have a feeling PSG will do a madness and get the 2 goals needed to go through. And then tomorrow, Chelsea, Real Madrid. I think that one is a hard one to call, but I think Chelsea might edge it just because of the way the form is at the moment. Tuchel's got you guys playing really, really well. And honestly, I think Chelsea could end up with winning the Champions League and the FA Cup this season. Yep, I said it.
Wow, why do you think Chelsea are going to do both?
I just think the way their form is at the moment and how much experience Tuchel has and the squad and the squad depth he has, it's going to be one of those things where it will end up in the double. And I think they're going to be front runners for the league next season as well if they get a Haaland or an MBAPPE or Sancho or whatever, because that will give them about another 20 goals extra per season, 20-30 goals per season.
Can I ask you a question? Sorry, can I just ask a question?
Of course, of course.
The thing is, like, I'm just interested because a lot of people saying PSG are going to go through, which might happen. But do you see them losing 2 back-to-back finals? Because that, for me, is what I think if they go through, I would expect them to win it simply because a lot of people get to their first Champions League final and lose. But they've done that, and now they've been their second one in back-to-back seasons. I'm not so sure that they lose if they get there. That's my thing, you know. That's just what I think. So I don't know what your take is on it.
But the same can be said about Tuchel because he got knocked out of a Champions League final last year as well because obviously he was the manager of PSG. So
yeah, that gives it. I agree with what Jan says, but your point also, that'd be 2 managers.
Yeah.
It is.
I'm shocked because obviously not last season, but he got to a final last as well. So it will be interesting. It'll be interesting to see what happens.
No, I don't know if any some stat or know it whether a manager is. So if Poch got to a final, could he lose 2 on his first 2? Could Tuchel lose his first 2? Has any manager ever lost their first 2 Champions League finals?
Oh, I don't think
Jurgen Klopp did.
Yeah.
Dortmund
got
and Liverpool.
2.
True. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Liverpool did it. Yeah, there we go. Listen, Mohammed, thanks for coming on, mate, and having your say. Really appreciate that, bro. Super chat here says.
Oh yeah, Simeone did as well.
Okay, yes, he hasn't won one. Yeah, has he? Yeah, so he's lost his. So it has happened. Abs. I was about to put Abs on. He disappeared. I don't know where Abs has gone. He has turned into a cake. He's gone. Bad joke. Abs is now back with us. Now I love bad jokes. I love terrible jokes. Abs is back. What are you saying, Abs? Oh, he's gone again. His Wi-Fi is awful. He's right. The profile was just there, and then it disappears. So we're gonna go to Manny next. Manny, what are you saying?
Hi, Terry. There's two things I want to talk about. The first one is the fact that everyone is underestimating PSG and Real Madrid. Listen, Real Madrid, we all know the experience they have with the midfield and how many trophies, Champions League they have won. And so, to the Chelsea fans, you guys should be careful because listen, experience is such an underrated ability to have in the Champions League because as we all know, it's a knockout tournament and everything can happen. So you have to have the best experience. And in regards to PSG, like we all know, sometimes you have to feel how it is to lose the final in order to win it next year. So PSG, listen, they lost it last year, but they have that experience and that fighting power to maybe win it this year. So as a United fan, listen, I don't want City to win it, but that's another reason why I think PSG may win it against Man City. And the last thing I want to touch on is, let's say that PSG knock out Man City. I want to know what's next for Man City and Pep, because he has been here for 5 seasons, and if he doesn't win the Champions League with the money spent, in my opinion, I don't think he has had a successful time at England.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, Jan, you're probably sick and tired of hearing it. I don't mean any disrespect to Manny for asking it. I mean, do you and any other City fans you know think that if he doesn't win a Champions League, it's been a waste of time and money having Pep?
Nah, Pep's completely come in, just taken us to the next level. He definitely has done that. I get the Champions League argument. It can be said for a lot of managers. Mourinho was brilliant for Chelsea, didn't win it. Fergie, in the whole time he was there, it wasn't the easiest thing to win. He won so many Premier Leagues, and the Champions League was always a bit harder. Obviously he did win it twice, but it's one of them things. It's difficult to win. It's a knockout competition. Man City have had a hell of a lot of bad luck. People in the comments talking about the good luck we've had this season. This is the first time we've ever had any good luck in this competition. And it's one of them. I don't think money is as relevant as people try and make it. You look at the teams in the Prem that have spent a lot of money. Some of them aren't even in it right now. So it's one of them situations. Sorry. I have to get that in there.
So,
Manny. I appreciate that. Manny, listen, mate, I appreciate you coming on, having your say. We're right near the end of the show now, so only got a couple more minutes left. Thank you very much, bro. Appreciate that, buddy. Abs is now back with us. I think the Wi-Fi is working. Abs, what do you want to say, mate?
I'm good, guys. How's everyone?
Not bad.
Good. Yeah, to be fair, today I'm very salty, so I'm coming for people. Chelsea's losing 1-0 today, and Man City's losing 2-0. Book it.
Okay, we can lose 1-0 today. That's fine. Don't mind.
Yeah, we can lose 1-0 today.
we can lose
We're
today.
playing
That's
today,
all right.
man. Of course we are.
Who do you support, mate?
He supports Man United. Definitely.
That answers your question. then, didn't it?
By the way,
So,
in case you didn't get that, we actually play tomorrow. But hey, you want to come
Doesn't
to us?
matter. You guys are losing.
Yeah, well, guess what, mate? Roma are beating you 5-0. So yeah.
Okay.
Do you honestly? So aside, do you? Sorry, go on then.
No. You can go ahead.
You really think that both Man City and Chelsea are going out legit, or is that just
No. As much as I would love to see it, they ain't going out. As much as I would love to see it, as much as I would love to, it ain't not happening.
Yeah, I do hear you on that one, bro. Listen, thank you for calling in, mate. We're almost out of time on today's show. Trying to get you on top, man. Hang on, I've just seen someone pop up backstage. He's had a lot to say today in the group chat. He's been calling Kai Havertz and man like that flops.
If it's Cam, I'm gonna lose it.
Listen, Chelsea fans, I gave you a little bit of props a few weeks ago, and I take it all back. Honestly, like, you're gonna lose against Real Madrid. City's through. There's no doubt in my mind City's through. PSG is a bunch of bottlers. But you're going to lose to Real Madrid. And when you do, please come on here and just say with chest that you're a fourth place team. Stop hanging on the cup ties and all that. You're a fourth place team. Fourth last year, fourth this year. Good luck next year. We'll see what happens. But you're a 4th place team. I'm so tired of all this chest. You beat Sevilla, great, cool. You beat Porto, great, cool. And all these teams are what, 5th, 6th, 7th in the league? Come on.
So
now.
out of the whole
What about-
Champions
what
League
about
run, it's
Atletico?
Sevilla and Porto that you picked out.
What about
Okay, Atletico
Atletico?
Madrid, good win. Cool. Good.
I
That
saw-
was-
I think
I
you should
swear you
concentrate on your own team winning trophies rather than coming over here and starting to stink up
That's
the
it.
place about Chelsea.
I'm
mate.
saying.
No, I'm just.
No,
We're
that's what
talking
I
about this year. We're talking about this year. We're not talking about last year, the year before. None of that.
You
We're
just
talking about
said, but
this
you just
year.
said that we are a 4th place team, and you referred to last season
and this year.
as well.
And this year.
Okay,
But the
and
thing
this season. This season's not over. We can still come third, by the
We're
way.
2
Just
points off
putting that
third.
out there. Putting that out there. So if we come third, what kind of team are we?
3rd place.
3rd place team.
Great.
Okay, well,
And
third
you're a 2nd place team. Yeah, you genuinely believe that.
We're ahead of you 2 years running now, right? We
2
finished ahead of you
years
2 years
running.
running.
When
On
you
same
finished
guys
on the
were
same.
coming
You
in
finished on the same points. You
year
finished on the
after
same points.
year, no one was talking when you man were coming in 6th and your noisy neighbours were winning the Premier League, fam. Your noisy neighbours are now in the Champions League final. Are you not ashamed? Are you not embarrassed?
City's
This
one
is
of the best
really
teams.
embarrassing. Are you not embarrassed?
Why? City's
This
one
is
of the best teams.
embarrassing. You're coming here talking about Chelsea. You focus on your Thursday match
Cam,
and leave us
Cam,
Wednesday and Tuesday
Cam, I
people
think-
alone.
And Anita, the point is, look, all we're trying to say is at the end of the day, you're talking about us showing some humility. You need to show a bit of humility. I mean, when was the last time you lot won a Premier League title that you're shouting
But I
about a
do.
2nd place
8
trophy?
years.
Listen, I do all the time. That's the thing. It's you, man, who come in here puffing your chest out. I understand where United are at. I've been saying it. We've been rebuilding for years. I've been giving. Listen. I gave City.
This isn't Fortnite. This isn't Fortnite that you're talking about rebuilding, bro. I've got 2 degrees in the time that you last won a title. It's not good enough, man. It's not good enough.
More flex.
It's not good enough. You know, like that. Come on.
So we had here the last time when United won the cup.
Bruv, that's true. Honestly, since Man United last won the league, I had a hairline. I got married, had my first kid, got divorced, had 2 more kids. Like my life, man, bro. I didn't even have a YouTube channel the last time we won the Premier League. It's mad. Honestly, though, Cam, do you see Chelsea and City going through?
Meet my dog. This is what's been making me busy recently.
Oh, hello.
But, Chelsea's not going to go through. City will. I have from day one been giving City all the credit and props because, like I've said it, like Pep's the best manager we've seen since Sir Alex Ferguson. The team is just ridiculous. Like I don't like saying it, but I can say it. Chelsea, on the other hand, like I've been saying, they're a 4th place team. They had a good run. They're going to lose to Real Madrid. They're going to go out, and then we're going to hear the same thing. It's just like that's just what it is. People talking about you guys deflect and bring up United, but we're not talking about United. This isn't a United stream. I came on here to talk about your team, right? Like you can come on a stream and come combat me with United if you want. True, I'll be around tomorrow. But like we're talking about Chelsea, and right now Chelsea will not go through, in my opinion. If they do, then I'll come back and say I was wrong. Cool, but Chelsea ain't going through. So when they don't go through, I'm just gonna come on and I'm gonna laugh. And I don't want to hear none of this.
Are you not embarrassed?
You know what I don't like?
You know what I would laugh that you lost in the semi-final of the Champions League.
Exactly. Exactly. You know what it is? Do you know, David? Do you know what I hate as well about the rival fans? It's this thing about all to gain but nothing to lose. Like you can come on and just be like, yeah, I was wrong. I didn't expect it, but it's calm. But if we lose, it's suddenly like it's like we should have never lost to Real Madrid in the semi-final of the Champions League.
Hey, Dan, what I'm going to say is right, I'm sorry to all rival fans. I'm sorry to all rival fans that we've got a board that actually loves us, that actually spends money on us. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you haven't got that. I'm sorry that you can't buy players and get rid of them.
200 I'm sorry. That's below the belt. That's Gem, that's below the belt. That should be -1. That's embarrassing.
Yeah, that's
Don't
a
do
low
that.
blow.
Don't do that. That's mean. That's mean. You see, you don't see how these men be having conference calls every day. Do you want to do that to them? That's rude. Embarrassing.
Well, you know, they asked for it, and I was very quiet.
There we go. Literally, the lineup should be out momentarily for the Man City games. Like literally, that kicks off in just over an hour's time. Right now, Jan, I want to speak to you because you kick off in an hour and 10 minutes. How are you? Like right now, give me describe the feelings you have going through you right now.
Do you know what? Like it's mad because at the start of the season, I had expectations for Man City, and my expectations were to win the Premier League and to go further in the Champions League. I wouldn't put, I know opposition fans are saying, if you go out tonight, you've bottled it, and, we're going to get all that stuff, Pep shit, we know we're going to get all that crap. We know that. But it's one of them things like to go out in the quarters one season and then go and win it the next. Like, it is quite rare. I'm not saying it can't happen, but it's like, I trust Man City. I have to, my team, I don't have to say too much. People always say that I'm like, I don't like back my team or whatever. But the thing is with me, like, I don't have to do much. Man City go out and do the talking for me, which is nice to know. And we have been good in the Champions League. I think if it was any other team, if I'm being honest, and they had the record that Man City have in the Champions League right now, I don't think we're having these conversations about PSG are going to win 4-0 in the first leg. That's what people were saying. Obviously, it didn't happen. Now it's either going to come back and beat us 3-1 or whatever. Like, yes, it could happen. We all know how football works. We could go out and win 5-0 tonight just as easily as we could go out and lose 5-0. Like, that is football. But it's one of them things where, oh, God, Fernandinho is going to get sent off, man. Oh, Lord. Okay. Sorry, I just read the team. They're going to play to get him sent off, and it's his birthday as well. But, yeah, I think it's one of them things, like, we know it can go both ways. But for Man City, like, the record that we have in the Champions League this season, we have been doing well. And I don't think we have these sort of conversations. Even though it is possible for us to go out, I don't think people will be as confident as us going out if this is Man United who are unbeaten in the Champions League. Like, that's just the way I see it.
Well, and I get that. Do you know when I look at that team though that we just put up there? When I look at that side,
yeah,
you know what I'm jealous about? It's only a couple of months ago, a legitimate jealousy here, but I'm not bitter about it. A couple of months ago, Cancelo was being spoken about as one of the best fullbacks in Europe, and he's now being spoken that he's now been thrown out of the team essentially because his form's dipped, because you've got quality to come in. You've got Sterling and Rodri and Laporte and Aguero all on the bench. All on the bench. One name though that stood out to me there, where it says Carson, is that who I think it is?
Scott Carson.
Is that Scott Carson?
Yeah.
The old
Theoretically, if he's on Scott Carson could become a Champions League winner. Is that what we're saying?
Yes. Scott Carson could have more Champions League medals than Paul Pogba. Yes.
Wow. be phenomenal. But listen, everyone tuned in. We are back live, both here and on Give Me Sport. It's going to be an epic.
Wait.
Oh.
Wait. First of all, one second. Let me
First
of all, yeah, I want to say, Cam.
Hang on, what are you hiding in that wardrobe?
Things that you guys don't need to know about. You know what I'm saying? Don't worry about that. Listen, Cam. I'm not with you. I came to say I'm not with you. I'm not with you, bruv. I'm here. I'm here with my head in shame of our football club because we're not in no space to be chatting about Chelsea right now, but we're not. Let's go bun the pagans first, and then when we bun them, we can come after them. I'm cool with that. You know what I'm saying? First of all, we got business to attend to before we go after anyone else. You know what I'm saying? Also, Jem, you're a pineapple head fan. Why are you talking about our weakness, bro? I was blow the belt, really like that. Now, bun you, fam. You know what I mean? You're trying to cause havoc, fam. Cam, let's bun the Glazers first. Then we can go chat to Chelsea. For now,
you can multitask. You can multitask, bro. You know,
right now you find them with one leg. You're trying to fight with one leg and one arm, bro. That's what you're doing.
I'm emotional artist.
Have you seen their chest? They got big chests now. I'm telling you, they got big chests. You got little chests.
It made me die. Like, literally, come on, there was so much energy for him, and I'm just sitting there. I'm just letting him do it. I would never do that. Not at this point of the season. Listen, Jem's being called out again now.
Yeah, I blame Kato for that. There we go.
Always the same. Listen, everyone who's tuned in today, actually one of the biggest previews we've had in months on here. So thank you all very, very much for tuning in. Make sure the like button's hit and share buttons. We're live tonight on the Terrace and on Give Me Sport. It's going to be a record-breaking night. I can feel it in my bones already for the football terrace, and make sure you're tuning in for it. I'm sure everyone is on now. He's going to be back over the next couple of nights in one way, shape, or form. Cam may be getting clipped up, to be honest. But we will see. We will see. Until next time, everyone, take care of yourselves. Goodbye